Everyone is currently involved in a contest that nobody is willing to name. There's no referee and no trophy at the end, but we're all keeping score in the silence of our own heads. It's that instinctive split-second audit we run the moment we wake up and reach for our screens. We're scanning for a single heavy piece of data. Am I doing as well as they are? It's a jarring thought, isn't it? We've become the only era of humans that can peer into the curated living rooms of 500 strangers before we've even gotten out of bed. We witness the golden hour sunsets, the effortless successes, and the staged tidiness of other people's worlds, and then we hold those images up against the cluttered, unedited reality of our own Tuesday mornings. We tell ourselves we're smarter than the algorithm. We know it's a filter. But knowing the trick doesn't make the illusion feel any less real. Because somewhere along the way, we stopped measuring our life by how it feels and started measuring it by how it looks compared to everyone else. The risk here isn't just that you'll feel a little bit sad on a Tuesday afternoon. It's something much more existential. The real danger is that you'll wake up at 45 and realize you built an entire life around what you thought you should want, based on the curated dreams of people you don't even like. It feels like being in a race where the finish line is constantly being moved. You hit a milestone, maybe you get the promotion, or you finally move into that apartment you wanted, and for a second, you feel like you've arrived. But then you scroll. You see someone else who is younger, doing it better, or doing it in a city that looks more interesting than yours. And suddenly, your achievement feels small. It feels like a consolation prize. We are spending our most precious currency, our time and our attention, on a competition that has no winner. If you spend your years measuring your worth against someone else's ruler, you will never, ever feel like you are enough. Not because you lack anything, but because that ruler was never meant to measure your life. It was designed for theirs. We're chasing a version of success that is essentially a moving target, and the cost of that chase is the quiet, steady erosion of our own peace. We're losing the ability to enjoy what we have because we're too busy mourning what we don't have. Or rather, what we think we don't have because of a square photo on a screen. It usually happens around 2 a.m. You know that specific kind of night where the house is quiet and the blue light of the phone is the only thing illuminating the room. And you tell yourself you're just winding down. Then, somehow, you find yourself on the profile of that one classmate from high school. You haven't spoken in 10 years. But there you are, scrolling through their wedding photos, their new house, perfectly behaved golden retriever. You start to do the math. They're the same age as you, they went to the same school. Why does their life look like a movie while yours feels like a series of errands and unfinished laundry? You tell yourself it's just curiosity, but it's a lie. It's a self-inflicted wound. You're looking for evidence that you're behind. And the algorithm, it knows. It sees that moment of hesitation on a specific post. It feeds you more of exactly what makes you feel inadequate under the guise of inspiration. We're trapped in a loop where curated lives start to feel like the only valid reality. We see these polished versions of existence, and our brains register them as the standard, the baseline. Anything less than that, the boring days, the tired eyes, the career lulls, feels like a failure. I've spent so many hours in my apartment in New York looking at people living in smaller towns or different countries, convinced that their version of life was the real one. I'd think, everyone has it figured out except me. It's such a lonely sentence, isn't it? It's a thought that isolates you in a room full of people. You look around at a party and assume everyone else is as happy as their last post suggested, while you're the only one carrying a secret weight. I'm curious, who is that one person for you? The one whose life you check on just to see if you're still winning or losing by comparison. You don't have to name them, but I think we all have that one profile we visit when we want to feel bad about ourselves. Tell me about that feeling in the comments if you know it. That specific, hollow ache of seeing someone else have exactly what you think you're missing. We forget that we are looking at a product. These profiles aren't documentaries, they're marketing campaigns. But when you're tired and it's late and you're feeling a little lost, marketing feels like the truth. We start to believe that the reason we're unhappy is because we haven't reached that specific level of having it all. We think if we just worked harder or looked better or traveled more, we could finally stop the comparison. But you can't outrun a ghost. But here's the part I only just realized, and it's the part that nobody really wants to say out loud. Their highlight reel isn't their reality either. I know we say that as a cliche, but I mean it in a much deeper way. Even the person you are jealous of is probably looking at someone else's feed and feeling the exact same inadequacy. It's a ladder that goes up forever and leads nowhere. I've met people who have the perfect life, the $1 million business, the beautiful family, the travel, and they're still spending their nights scrolling through the profiles of people who have more. The algorithm doesn't care about your happiness. It cares about your engagement, and nothing keeps us engaged quite like the feeling that we are missing out. It amplifies our deepest insecurities and packages them as content. We've been tricked into thinking that comparison is a tool for self-improvement, that seeing others succeed will motivate us. But motivation is born from desire. Comparison is born from lack. One moves you forward, the other keeps you paralyzed. I remember talking to a friend who always seemed to have her life completely sorted. Her house was always clean, her career was skyrocketing, and her relationship looked effortless. One night, after a few glasses of wine, she admitted that she spent most of her mornings crying in the bathroom because the pressure to maintain that sordid image was destroying her. She was terrified of anyone seeing the cracks. And that's when it hit me. We aren't just comparing our lives. We are comparing our internal chaos to everyone else's external order. It's an impossible equation. You know what it feels like inside your head, the doubts, the messy thoughts, the fear. You don't know what it feels like inside theirs. You only see the finished product. To be honest, I think we're all just a bunch of people pretending we know what we're doing while secretly looking at everyone else to see if we're doing it right. It's like we're all reading from different scripts, but trying to hit the same cues. The turning point happens when you stop fighting the truth. Not the truth that you aren't winning, but the truth that there is no game to begin with. Comparison is a thief, yes, but it's also a liar. It shows you a version of the world that doesn't exist. It strips away the context, the struggle, the mundane hours, and the human messiness that makes a life actually worth living. When you realize that the perfect version of life you're chasing is actually just an edited file, the power it has over you starts to dissolve. It's a quiet realization. It's not a grand explosion, it's just a soft letting go. You look at the screen and you realize that isn't a life. That's a photo. You see the classmate's new house, and you can feel happy for them or neutral toward them without it being a commentary on your own value. Your worth is not a fluctuating currency based on the market value of other people's choices. You are not behind because there is no track. You are not losing because there is no scoreboard. You are just here, living your one messy, uncurated, deeply human life. And that has to be enough. I don't think we ever fully stop comparing ourselves. It's a human instinct. But I've found that you can change your relationship to the urge. Here's what I found. I started noticing the physical sensation in my chest right before I open an app. That little itch of boredom or loneliness that usually leads to a 2 a.m. scroll. And now, sometimes, I catch it. I stop. I ask myself, am I looking for connection or am I looking for a reason to feel bad? Most of the time, it's the latter. So I choose to close the app. I put the phone in another room. I sit in the quiet of my actual, unlit, messy kitchen, and I breathe. It's a small rebellion, but it feels like reclaiming a piece of my soul. I've started trying to follow people who show the cracks. Or better yet, I've started spending more time with people in real life where you can see the tired lines around their eyes and hear the way their voice shakes when they're unsure. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to win at comparison. You just have to decide that you're done playing. You can opt out of the game whenever you want. The finish line can stay wherever it is, and you can just sit down, take a breath, look at your own hands, your own walls, your own life. It's yours. It's the only one you've got, and it's far too precious to spend it wondering if someone else is doing it better. I hope you find the courage to be behind in all the ways that don't actually matter, so you can finally be present for the things that do.